Hey ladies, it's Lala here, and I have a word for you. I heard you're still single and it's 2026. Let's fix that. If you're a Christian girl and you've been calling on God for a mate and you're just kind of wondering, why don't I have him? We need to talk. So, a lot of us are actually hindering ourselves. And I know it's like, how in the world am I doing that? I have a 6-figure job. I travel the world. I know how to fix a car. I bodybuild. I like taking steps a day. Right? I have washboard abs. I have 50,000 subscribers. I have. I'm gonna turn that record off because it sounds a little ridiculous now. We keep talking about external. And also notice that these are things that the world values. Accolades, if you're gonna name it like that. I have A, B, and C. I have this degree. I have that job. But it's funny because God doesn't go by the world standards. If we want to quote the verse, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and has favor from it, let's reverse it and say, we actually are supposed to be wives before the man meets us. That means we have to act like it. We have to live like it. God didn't mention anything about jobs. He didn't mention anything about being in Forbes. He didn't mention anything about being on stage. He just said, do you have the heart of a wife? That this man, like Proverbs 31 describes, is finding safety with you. Or are you toxic? Because yes, you can be Christian and toxic. I think we all know that one. So today I'm going to talk to you about, and this is going to be a series, but today I'm going to talk to you about humility. A lot of us have a lot of things that we expect of men, but we don't put that same expectation on ourselves. We may say he has to have A, B, and C, but do we ourselves have that? If he put that same qualification on us, can we do that? And we can't say it's not fair. What we can say is that a lot of it is shallow and a lot of it is worldly, and a lot of it, unfortunately, is from media. Stop trying to get a man that's a fictional character. Fictional characters are made to be perfect. Men aren't, right? Just like if he expects you to be like Tomb Raider, I heard some men like that. How can you say that's not fair when you put it on him that he needs to be like Mars Chestnut, right? Or the characters he plays. So let's take off these unrealistic expectations so that we can finally see men as they are. Human. Okay. So now that we realize that they're human and they're being made over in Christ every day, we need to be humble as we approach them. When I say approach them, I don't mean literally approaching them. Obviously, you leave that to the Lord to have him approach you. But are you allowing him to approach? How are you carrying yourself? Are you giving every guy a nasty face? How do you know that he wanted you? He probably just looked over at you. So the attitude needs to change. And it's also about our thought life. But that's in the other part of the series. I hope you stick around for that one. Because God does want you to get married, right? But he doesn't want the attitude. God does want you to get married, but he doesn't want you giving him a textbook list of qualifications, right? Because it's not realistic. So now we say, okay, how do I become something that is good and that will bring him favor? That's great. I'm glad you're asking that. Because all the jobs, all the great things you did is not what makes you a good wife. It's your character. What is your heart like when no one's looking? Are you a woman of integrity? You want him to be a man of integrity, right? Are you somebody that's a woman after God's own heart? You want him to be a man after God's own heart. You see that there? Are you somebody that knows how to take care of your house? You want him to take care of your house, right? So let's be honest with ourselves and say, you know what? Maybe I'm part of the delay. And yes, sometimes this is a delay. Sometimes men have been brought across our paths and we said no. And sometimes we have dated people, but we're like, oh no, they were toxic. Oh, they weren't real Christian. They were a worldly Christian. We attract what we're like. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And sometimes even good girls end up with the wrong guys. because of their minds. What type of guy am I looking for? And then you begin to get this type of guy. You need a man of God. I'm not talking about that type of man of God that's he has on his shirt, I'm a Christian, but the guy that's quietly working with his hands. Do you know Paul said that in the Bible? To work quietly with your hands and work as if God is your boss and not your employer. So what is your attitude on the job? If he came to visit you, maybe you don't even know him, and he walked in, would you have a nasty look on your face and an attitude? Or would you already have been looking pleasant in the first place? We don't have to be in love with our jobs. A lot of us aren't where we want to really be right now. But we do have to be thankful that we have somewhere to work, because a lot of people do not have that opportunity to have a job. So consider your ways is really what I feel Lord is saying to us ladies. You want a man, but are you the woman that he really needs yet? And sometimes the answer is no. Because you cannot say all these lists of things. I'm out of debt. I have a house. I'm a Coke bottle shape. I lost all the weight. He never mentioned that in the Bible. Read Proverbs 31. Go to my series. We discuss Proverbs. And let's really understand that Proverbs 31 woman is not so much about the look, but the heart. So stay with me, and I'll see you in part 2.